Thanks for joining us. I'm Megan Roberts. Recent police shootings in Nunavut have sparked calls for reform from across the region and the country. Now, some policing experts are calling for a change in the way officers are trained. Samuel Watt reports.
That is staggering and astonishing.
That's how Temitope Oriola describes the rates of fatal police shootings in Nunavut.
And there's something fundamentally broken there, with all due respect.
CBC looked at numbers from Quebec's police watchdog, the BEI, over the past 8 years. Nunavut had 73 times more police deaths by firearm compared to the rest of the province. But there are also troubling figures police face in Nunavut. Higher rates of crime, addictions, suicide, all compounded by lack of housing and trauma, and there lies the problem for Oriola. People can become officers with the Quebec Police Academy diploma, or they can complete the cadet program at the RCMP depot in Regina in 6 months.
In theory, someone who is finishing high school this year may join, and by December or February of next year may already qualify.
Much of the training at depot is on target practice and defensive driving, he says, but there's little time spent on the social, human side to policing. That worries him when police hold such lethal power. But some studies suggest guns should be the default when there's a person with a knife.
An average police officer takes about 1.5 seconds to draw, aim, and fire their gun from their belt to a subject, whereas somebody running at full speed, an average person running at full speed, can cover about 21 feet.
Watson says there is great value in de-escalation techniques, but he often hears new recruits dismissing them. Another alternative he doesn't see is the use of shields. That's been a recommendation in several coroner's inquests elsewhere in Canada.
A shield protects everyone. It protects the police officer and it protects the person who is presumably in crisis.
Some steps he wants to see more of, so police can do better for the communities they serve. Samuel Watt, CBC News, Iqaluit.
The Vancouver Police Department is investigating a fatal police shooting in Clyde River, Nunavut last week. The shooting left a man dead after a confrontation with Nunavut RCMP. A shelter-in-place notice was issued in the community on Thursday after reports of an individual firing gunshots from a residence. RCMP say the man was confronted and shot. Some residents streamed the confrontation on TikTok. Vancouver police are asking anyone who witnessed the incident or took video of it to contact the Clyde River Detachment. Whitehorse RCMP say they're investigating a stabbing in the Hillcrest neighborhood. Police are looking for a 25-year-old man allegedly involved in the assault. This morning saw a heavy police presence in the neighborhood. Officers responded to a report shortly before 8 a.m. about people fighting inside of a vehicle. One person was found with a stab wound. RCMP say the injury is non-life-threatening. Access to Hillcrest was briefly cut off. Police say the search of the area wound down by the early afternoon. It's believed the suspect and victim know each other. The 25-year-old suspect was last seen wearing light-colored pants and a shirt with no sleeves. In the Northwest Territories, the fire risk for Jean Marie River has decreased for the time being, but the community is still under an evacuation alert. That means people should be ready to leave on short notice if the situation gets worse. In an update, NWT Fire says the wildfire has not advanced towards the community. It's about 14 kilometers northwest. The changing wind direction today and tomorrow has lessened the risk. A family reunion and annual general meeting for Jean Marie River residents, though, has been postponed because of the risk posed by the wildfire. A second barge filled with supplies has now left Hay River NWT for the Sawtooth region. The GNWT says it's carrying 529 tons of dry cargo and over 2.5 million liters of fuel for Tulita and Norman Wells. It's been a tough 2 years for getting supplies to the Sawtooth through the barges. Low water levels cut the season short in 2023, and the barges were canceled altogether in 2024. This year, the GNWT announced there would be 2 barges, but the timing was still tough. Joshua Earls is the president of Rampart Rentals in Norman Wells. We spoke when I was in the community on Friday before the second barge had left. Let's start with the barges. Tell me what the barging season was like this year. I know it's still going on. We're expecting one more, but just reflect what it was like, especially after last year.
Yeah, stressful. It seems like, as per usual, this barging seems really stressful, especially so last year we never received a barge, and this year we weren't expecting a barge once again, and all of a sudden, a few weeks back, they decided, okay, we are going to run a barge. That's MTS. They said that, and at that point, they were only going to run one barge, and they had only given us a 3-day lead time, which for me was an impossible feat. I mean, I need 2 weeks just to order my groceries for my supplier to have them ready and packaged, and so that was a little bit of we thought we were getting a barge, and then we weren't. And then a few days later, we were told, oh, there's going to be a second barge, which again, we received a 9-day lead time where we had a cutoff where we had to get our goods to Hay River at MTS there. At that point, I rushed here and pulled 2 all-nighters to do an order through my store, and was just hoping that my suppliers would at that point allow us to package up our goods to get them onto the barge, which then thankfully they did. And so even though normally we need the 14 days, they worked hard enough to allow us to get everything together in that 9 days. And then we have since then we ended up 2 trailers up to Hay River there, and we were told they're going on the second barge. At this point, we also have been told that it hasn't left yet, and there is a little bit of worries on the water at this point, whether or not they're actually going to be able to sail or not, but we're very hopeful at this point.
I mean, how different is that from your normal barging season when things are running, I suppose, as they used to run?
Yeah, I mean, quite differently. Like if we were planning on having a barge, then we wouldn't have brought up almost a year's worth of stuff on this last winter road. So knowing that we were probably not experiencing a barge this year again from last, we were like, okay, well, we don't want to be flying up all of our different items because it's going to raise the prices and cost in freight significantly. And so not knowing that there was a barge, we brought up a year's worth of supplies of material on the winter road, or as much as we could. I mean, certain things, especially in the store, have certain dates and stuff, so there's only so much you can do, and we knew we would have to fly up things. But I guess going back to your question, in a normal year, if we know that there's a barge coming, then it usually kind of splits our seasons, and where we would bring half of our freight on the winter road season, and then we try to bring half of it in a barge.
Mm-hmm. So it's only MTS doing barging this year. Tell me if that's had an effect on prices and what that's looked like.
Yeah, it's been a little bit of a shock because usually there's Cooper Barging, which is the privately owned company, and then MTS, which is the government-run barge. And this year, at least so far, Cooper Barging is not running, or has not said he's going to run. I think there's some kind of maybe boating issue or trouble finding staff or something like that. But so at this point, when we were told about the barge, MTS is like, we're going to be going, and we're like, that is fantastic. And normally we would support the local company, Cooper Barging, but this being our only option, we were thrilled to have that. And we thought that, okay, well, that would severely reduce our cost by barge instead of flying it. We were a little bit mistaken, it seems like, because the prices that we were previously charged by Cooper Barging to MTS were significantly higher, and we didn't expect that, and we didn't even almost have time to inquire either. It was one of those things we just assumed it was going to be a lot cheap. It would be equivalent to almost the Cooper Barging prices, but it actually has been like 263% higher than what Cooper charged just 2 years ago. And I mean, yeah, it's 2 years difference, but we were assuming maybe 10, maybe 20% difference maximum in that, but 263% was extreme. And it's almost now to the point, sadly, where it would have been cheaper for us to fly in the goods instead of barge them now with MTS, and then we could have got them as we needed them, and we wouldn't have had a mad dash. And I kind of did a half kind of order, like as good as I could with the time I had, but I mean, if I had more time or something like that, I could have done it better. And so it really was, it's been a little disappointing on that regard, like actually very disappointing.
And has that jump in price had an effect on prices in town as well for goods?
Yeah, I mean, it hasn't yet. We're still waiting on the barge and hoping it still comes. But at that point, it is gonna, where we thought we were gonna be able to bring down the costs with the barging and all of that. Now it's, they're gonna obviously have to go up more than we thought. And it is a big disappointment and stuff. And I'm hoping maybe there is some kind of subsidies or something that might kick in here to help us out through this so we can help that, so.
Yeah, how do you adapt in a business like this that's so reliant upon the winter road and barging, which are then in turn affected by climate change? How do you adapt this business for the future?
Yeah, honestly, I thought I've had the store for 10 years and I thought I had it figured out. And this last 2 years, we ended up with a shortening ice road season. It's now down to about guaranteed a month that we can get our goods in there. We now are without a barge for the last 2 years, and it feels like I'm starting from square one. I don't really know what to almost do half the time anymore, and take guesses. Like next year, do I now gamble that there's going to be no barging? Do I bring up a year's worth of supply on the winter road, or is this going to be something where I'm now going to bring up half on the winter road and hope for half on the barge? So we're in a lull where I actually don't know almost what to do.
Boat users crossing the Alberta-NWT border will soon have a new way to clean their boats. A solar-powered boat washer is set to be installed at the 60th Parallel Territorial Park. The CBC's Tamara Merritt has that story.
While the NWT doesn't have a problem with aquatic invasive species yet, the government is already getting ahead of the issue before it even begins. It's installing a boat washing station close to the Alberta border next spring, with a wet and dry vacuum, an air compressor, and other handheld tools.
We're looking to get a watercraft decontamination unit as part of our support for the Clean, Drain, Dry initiative. Watercraft that go through this Clean, Drain, Dry initiative across many jurisdictions in North America really help prevent the spread of harmful plants, animals, and other aquatic hitchhikers.
Invasive species like zebra or quagga mussels are particularly dangerous. Roughly the size of a fingernail, they easily stick to the surface of boats and then can be transported to other watery ecosystems, consuming nutrients that other native species need to survive. Boat washing stations are a proactive step against them.
You know, there's estimates out there that suggest for every $1 we spent on a prevention activity, you save $100 down the line. And in the Northwest Territories, you have the Great Slave Lake, you have beautiful, big, natural water bodies. Keeping these things out is so important and so paramount. So I applaud the Northwest Territories.
If aquatic invasive species start to become a big issue in the NWT, Wildlife Management says people can expect to start seeing more boat washing stations popping up in the territory. Tamara Merritt, CBC News, Yellowknife.
In Nunavut, scientists continue to investigate the death of hundreds of fish near Iqaluit's deep sea port. Fisheries and Oceans Canada told CBC the fish appear to be cod that were trapped in the low tide. They say it's not a common occurrence, but it can happen in coastal waters. The DFO says fisheries officers in Iqaluit collected samples, which will be examined by scientists. A tip from the public gave officers enough time to collect samples before the fish were washed away by the tide. The DFO is advising people not to handle dead fish or remove them from the water due to health risks. Tuktoyaktuk sits on the shore of the Arctic Ocean in the Northwest Territories, and coastal erosion was threatening to slide it into the water. But an armor of rock and cement is now protecting the community and its people. The CBC's Juanita Taylor takes us to the Great Wall of Tuk.
Slabs of concrete and massive boulders strategically placed along the shores of Tuktoyaktuk to protect the community from washing into the Beaufort Sea.
We're very confident that, this is going to hold and buy us time that we need to either continue to protect the community or relocate in the future.
Powerful storm waves and thawing permafrost are eroding the coastline by about 1 meter each year, forcing some to relocate their homes inland. The project is also aimed at protecting Tuck Island, the community's natural barrier from the Arctic Ocean.
It's super important that we had the barrier put up here so that we can mitigate at least the wave action and the storm surges that was washing the material out.
And so if Tuck Island were to ever get washed away, what would happen?
The harbor would become the ocean. I think catastrophic to the community.
The mayor calls it the Great Wall of Tuck, the first ever shoreline protection in Canada of this magnitude. At a cost of more than $50 million from the federal government, it's expected to last 30 years.
We covered essentially 2,000 meters of shoreline with rock.
The rock was quarried from Inuvik, roughly 150 kilometers away.
Approximately 200,000 tons of rock was brought in. So I think that the repreventment project really saved the community of Tuck.
Its completion was celebrated by the people of Tuck, including the Northwest Territories senator who grew up here.
It is a way of protecting not just our community, but our way of life, our culture, our lifestyle.
But the fight against climate change isn't over. Coastal erosion continues to impact other parts of the community. But for now, the people who call this place home are safe. Juanita Taylor, CBC News, Tuktoyaktuk, Northwest Territories.
Some members of the Liard First Nation in the Yukon say they're frustrated by a lack of communication from their leadership. Last week, a group protested outside the chief's office in Watson Lake. They're upset about the closure of the language department and the fact that there hasn't been a General Assembly in 3 years. Callie McTavish was there and she joins us now with more. So what did you hear from the protesters, Callie?
The protesters said that the language program was closed with no explanation. They said that the director's contract was not renewed, even though she had secured 5 years worth of federal funding. Now it's been 1.5 years since the program was run. They said that they tried to meet with Chief and Council to find out why this decision was made and that they were refused.
And I understand there's also concern about the nation's General Assembly. What can you tell us about that?
Yeah, so what the protesters told me is that it's been 3 years since a General Assembly was held, and they said a General Assembly is an opportunity for them to hold their chief and council accountable to the nation and share financial information.
You had an opportunity to put these questions to the chief. What did he have to say?
So the chief said that the language program was created without the consultation with chief and council. He said that the first time he found out about the language program was actually at the media announcement when the director said that they had secured that funding. He also said that as the program went on, there were some concerns raised by elders that the program wasn't inclusive enough of elders or of other members of the community. And so ultimately the decision was made that the program wasn't serving the community. Now, as for the General Assembly, he says he had a General Assembly 3 years ago. He's not afraid of having one again, but the financial situation of the nation is very complicated, and so he's needed some time to get those finances in order and to have them audited, and that those audits will be available for all citizens to review come September.
Okay, thanks for all your work on this, Callie.
Thanks.
In Norman Wells NWT, a busy weekend of self-government celebrations wrapped up on Sunday. The event saw Klegotli Gotine members from across Canada gather in the community, some for the first time. Charter planes landed at the airport on Thursday and Friday. Emotions were high as people came together to celebrate their self-government agreement. Over 4 days, the community held feasts, dances, hikes, a medicine walk, a meet and greet, and much more. One of those events was a gathering at the arena to hear local and federal leaders speak about the self-government agreement and what it means. Take a listen.
Self-government means we now have the tools to protect what we cherish most about Norman Wells while building the future we envision for our children and our grandchildren. It means decisions about our community will be made by our community rooted in values, tradition, and understanding of what makes this place special. This is not the end of our journey. It's a new beginning. With self-government comes both opportunity and responsibility. We must continue to work together, to listen to each other, and to ensure that the historic achievement serves every member of our community. Today we celebrate the past 20 years of dedication, the present moment of achievement, and the bright future that lies ahead for Norman Wells.
It's enacted into law. Your self-government agreement will affirm your inherent right to make key decisions for yourselves, for your families, for your community, and for generations to come. Decisions that are grounded in your culture, practices, and beliefs. This agreement lays out a new path for the future of your nation, a future where Tl'igologli Gotine make their own laws and administer their own services like healthcare and education. It also marks a significant step forward in preserving and protecting your culture and language for generations to come. Today's celebration and your ratification is a powerful reminder of the strength and power there is in working together.
The way I see it, the Government of Canada has allowed the Northwest Territories, the people of the Northwest Territories, to determine our future in a way that doesn't happen in the rest of Canada. The entire territory is covered in land claims. And so as a public government, I see our role as supporting the implementation of land claims and self-government agreements. We need to ensure that when the Tl'igologli government is ready to draw down authority on things like education, on things like housing, that we as a public government have supported them to get the policies in place, the right programs in place that the government will want to draw down. And that means ensuring that we're working together, collaboratively, to develop those programs and policies. The days of government telling communities how it's going to be are over. We have a great working relationship with Indigenous governments across the territory, and I look forward to building a strong working relationship with the Tl'igologli government as well.
Thank you all for being here to witness this historic milestone. Welcome to our celebration of self-government. Welcome to the future of Tl'igologli Gotine people. Masicho.
Next, the self-government agreement will be passed into law by the NWT and federal governments. That will be followed by a transition period before the Tl'igologli Gotine government begins enacting its own laws and policies. Now, during our visit to Norman Wells, children in the community had the chance to have some science-based fun. The Aurora Research Institute outreach team was in town to promote STEM, science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. Children participated in hands-on activities. One of the project leads says the kids were intrigued by the science happening in their own backyard.
So that's a big reason why we run the STEM outreach program out of Aurora Research Institute, is just to engage kids over and over again with different STEM fields, different careers, and get them excited about science and technology and potential jobs in the future.
Some activities included rocket launches, movie making, chemistry, and coding with a twist. Participants used block coding programs to create online migration paths for digital caribou. The program will return to Norman Wells this fall. In the Yukon, the Teslin Tlingit Council now has the responsibility of hosting the next Hakusti'i. In 2 years, it'll organize the celebration aimed at reclaiming Tlingit culture, which was taken away through colonization. The 2025 event just wrapped up this past weekend in Carcross, and the CBC's Marissa Mayer was there.
These dancers from inland and coastal Tlingit communities joined together for the closing ceremony. To wrap up Hakusti'i 2025, they danced their way outside for the grand exit.
I think we did pretty good. I think we definitely held the doors open for our sister communities to come in and to enjoy culture and language with us for the weekend.
This year's Hakusti'i showcased all kinds of artists. There was a traditional tattoo artist studio, and tents with beaters, weavers, moosehide tanners, and bentwood box makers. Hakusti'i is hosted by the inland Tlingit communities of Carcross, Teslin, and Atlin. But many coastal Tlingit people played important roles in the ceremonies.
If you took water out of a river that came from a glacier, that water would be really silty and hard to see through. But if you let it sit long enough, it becomes what we call kaukapuwahi, a water that has settled clear.
We must always maintain those ties so that we don't lose where we're going, because we can't know where we're going if we don't know where we come from. Knowing we were all once one people is important to transfer that knowledge down to our future generations.
The bond between inland and coastal Tlingit people has strengthened in recent years. After traditions were taken from inland Tlingit communities, they often turned to coastal Tlingit communities for help with cultural revitalization.
I think that there's just so many more good things yet to come from the First Nations people in Canada to revitalize the language, and your brothers and sisters across the border are here to lift you up and to support you in your efforts.
This was Katkrun's first Hakusti'i. She came to represent the Alaska Native Corporation, Sealaska. While she is used to the much larger biennial celebration in Juneau, she gives the more intimate celebration an A grade.
The effort that the organizers have gone above and beyond to make sure that the guests feel welcomed, make sure the guests are taken care of, providing meals, providing insights into housing and transportation, all of that is an extraordinary undertaking, and they have gone above and beyond to make sure that the guests are well taken care of and well received.
As the torch was passed on to Teslin Tlingit Council, the 2025 organizer had a word of advice for the incoming hosts.
I definitely tell youth to step up, learn what goes on, the traditions, the ceremonies, and don't be afraid to try.
The next Hakusti'i celebration will be in Teslin in 2027. Marissa Mayer, CBC News, Carcross.
And that is Northbeat for tonight. For news anytime, go to cbc.ca/north. Thank you for watching. We leave you with more images from the Norman Wells Airport last week as people arrived for the self-government celebrations. I'm Megan Roberts. Have a good night.
stream anytime. CBC News.